All right, put your pitchforks down. Put the fire torches out. It's a fire hazard, okay? So before you come at me, let me explain myself, all right? So we're going to be talking about how Rock Lee, in my opinion, became one of the worst ninjas at the end of the story, right? Because we're going to talk about his feats, we're going to talk about what he got done, what he accomplished, and what his overall character meant to Naruto at the end of the day, right? And so let's just first off get into it, the Chunin exams. So we get introduced to Rock Lee as a kid who doesn't know any kind of jutsus. He doesn't know any, like literally any jutsu. He can't use anything. No water style, earth style, fire style, lightning style, nothing. He can't even do a shadow clone, right? He only has taijutsu. Now, I know we've all seen that meme when, you pull up to the Chunin exams and everyone's using jutsus and ninjutsus and you're just like, come get these hands. Let's see if you got hands, boy. Come on. Come get these hands, son. Now, that is badass. On paper, that is badass. The hype around Rock Lee, when he dropped the ankle weights, the hype around Rock Lee was insane, right? We can all agree to that. I'm not sitting here gonna debate that. I'm not gonna debate the hype built around Rock Lee in his first two fights. Amazing. Amazing, right? Now, so Rock Lee ends up fighting Gaara, right? And it was an amazing fight. One of the most hyped fights in anime, right? At the time. And, because you got to understand, I grew up watching this. So at the time, it was nothing like I've ever seen before. It was beyond hype, right? Rock Lee ends up losing the fight to Gaara. Hard fought fight. A lot of respect to Gaara. Like, boom. That's him. And I'm kind of getting a little hazy if he fought Gaara first or Sasuke. I'm pretty sure he fought Sasuke first, I think. But either way, he ends up fighting Gaara and Sasuke, ends up losing both of those fights. So, at the beginning of both of those fights, two very, very hype fights, you're wondering, okay, Rock Lee could beat these guys. Rock Lee could beat these guys. Even though he barely lost to both of these guys, he could beat both of them, right? At any moment or on any given day, right? It could have been one slip up and he wins. But this is anime. So when you see that kind of pattern, you go, okay, he's either going to get a sick redemption, like arc kind of deal, or a sick redemption fight to show us, how badass Rock Lee really is, or he's going to continue being the punching bag for stronger characters, being developed in the story, right? Now, we kind of fast forward because after the Chunin exams, Rock Lee is pretty much in the hospital for a while, and then he does a couple little things with his own Chunin exams, like with his partners and stuff like that, and we get a little bit of character development out of Lee, but not a whole lot. We don't really get much of anything until the Kimimaro, right, which was probably everybody's favorite Rock Lee moment, when he fought Kimimaro, and Kimimaro was a Kekkei Genkai user who could manipulate his bones. So he could do whatever. He could make more bones. He's the bone guy. He'll never run out of bones. So at first, when he was battling Kimimaro, it wasn't the closest fight ever, right? He kind of was getting a little worked over with Kimimaro, and then everyone's like, all right, here we go again. Rock Lee's coming in. Probably going to get whooped. Probably going to get saved by somebody. We'll see, right? Which, if you were thinking that, you're not totally wrong, right? But out of nowhere, Rock Lee pulls out this little sake cup that he thinks is medicine, but it's actually just sake, right? And there's this whole thing. Well, I don't really need to explain it if you know, right? So we get Drunken Fist Rock Lee, which was the absolute, in my opinion, peak of Rock Lee's character. And honestly, one of the best fights in the series, right? It's fun, it's action-packed, it's smart. They get away with some really funny stuff. But at the end of the day, the sake runs out, his drunkenness goes away because of whatever reason, right? And Kimimaro starts getting back on that ass. Now, just as when you think Rock Lee was about to get worked over, Gaara comes in, saves the day, saves Rock Lee from happening, and honestly, barely saved him. If it wasn't for Rock Lee doing all that damage to him prior, Kimimaro probably would have killed him. Right? Kimimaro probably would have killed both of them if he had enough stamina, if he wasn't dying from that illness, right? He probably would have beat Gaara and Rock Lee. Now, this is where the character development and everything that you love about Rock Lee goes to shit. There is literally not a single moment that you could vividly remember in Naruto Shippuden of Rock Lee having some significant win. Besides Master Chen, when he was reincarnated, but like, brother, who is Master Chen? Like, get out of here. No, nobody wants to see Rock Lee beat somebody that nobody fucking knows or gives a F about. Does that make sense? Now, I love Rock Lee, but why are we writing him in the worst way possible? Now, this isn't Rock Lee's fault. It's really Kishimoto's fault why I think Rock Lee is like the worst ninja, because the feats, he has no feats. He didn't beat anybody. He went toe-to-toe with Gaara. He went toe-to-toe with Sasuke. He went toe-to-toe with Kimimaro. Who else, though? Who else? And Master Chen, listen, my guy could have took him out easy. Easy. I don't know why they were playing up this dude so hard, and my guy's like, oh, I can't beat him, Lee. And then Lee's like, Guy Sensei, I can do it. And then hits him with like a spinning lotus or whatever he hit him with, the spinning one where, you know, he flies to the ground spinning. Other than that, what do we get from Rock Lee? Like, we could have easily had him save Neji. We could have easily had him fight, you know, Madara's subordinates, or, you know, help fight Madara in some crazy way. But no, we don't get none of that. He's one of the most built-up hype characters of all time, but does nothing. Does absolutely nothing but Aura Farm. Rock Lee is the Aura Farm god, right? Kinda. There's moments where it's like, alright, he don't got that much aura. But in terms of on the battlefield, who raises more aura than Rock Lee on the battlefield when it's like his hype moments? Nobody, right? So that's pretty much my argument. My argument is, when we went into the retrieval arc, right, in Naruto, why didn't we add Rock Lee? Why does Choji, Neji, Kiba, why do they all have feats before Rock Lee? Why do they have feats of beating people? Oh yeah, and Shikamaru. Why do they have feats of beating people before Rock Lee, right? Shikamaru I can understand, especially when he fought Hidan. That's one of my favorite fights of all time. And we could have easily had something along those lines with Rock Lee. Like, Rock Lee needed one significant win, and I would never make this video. Does that make sense? But he doesn't have any significant wins. He doesn't have any, you know, feats that I could really say are above anyone else, because he doesn't beat anybody. Yeah, he came close to beating Gaara. He came close to beating Sasuke. He came close to beating Kimimaro, but he didn't win, right? And those two fights, like the Chunin exams, like there's no weight behind that. If you lose, you fucking lose. Oh well. If you win, there's literally just for the Chunin exams. Kimimaro, on the other hand, there was some beef to that. There was some weight to that win if he would have won that. And they technically did win, but it's not really, like, they didn't really give the finishing blow, right? He died because his heart stopped. And then the fact that Shikamaru and all these other guys, they have feats over accomplished character. Like, Shikamaru beat an Akatsuki member, bro. One of the scariest ones, too. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And that's just my opinion on why I think Rock Lee is, you know, considered, in my opinion, the worst ninja. Besides Tenten, which is, you know, who he married anyway. So you get the two of the worst ninjas. They get married. They have a kid who literally does nothing in Boruto. And Rock Lee, like, what does Rock Lee do in Boruto? Tell me. One significant thing he does in Boruto. At least Shikamaru became a Shadow Dragon, or a Shadow Hokage. I almost said Shadow Dragon. What the fuck? Shadow Hokage, right? At least, you know, my boy Shiki got some big ups to him. Now he's got some big feats to his name, right? But yeah, anyway, that's the video. Agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. It's just my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have some arguments against me. I need to know. And don't make it like, oh, he was so hype. He's such a great character. He shows how to, you know, persevere without using jutsu and without, you know, you don't need the tools everyone else is using to be successful. 100%, you don't. But that's not what I'm arguing. I'm arguing, what has he done? What has he done? Not what was his message to the fan base. What was his message to kids around the world? What has he done in the story that I can significantly say places him above Shikamaru or someone like that, right? Even Neji sacrificed himself. Like, the sacrifice Neji made, was it unnecessary? Maybe. But even Neji's sacrifice carries more weight than anything Rock Lee ever did. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.